It's Week 6 in the NFL as Baltimore welcomes the reigning Offensive Rookie of the Year for the first time. Can Justin Herbert lead the Chargers past the Ravens? Find out next on EA Sports.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Gaudin alongside my good friend Charles Davis. And CD, for as much as the defender in you probably hates to hear it, the NFL is a league ruled by offenses, and we've got a couple of good ones about ready to do battle here.
Well, you know me quite well. Maybe one day I can get to be commissioner. I can flip that around a little bit, and we can just talk about defense. But let's face it, we're talking about two units that rank in the top 5 in the league. So I think this might be a game where you forget about the field goals. You'd better finish your drive with a touchdown if you want to keep up with the Joneses on the other sideline.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Chargers set to go on offense for the first time, and they are led by the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2020. Now in his second season out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
This pass finds its way to Williams. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
So likely a 3-and-out on their opening drive. That's not a good omen for a team that's lost 3 straight games.
Too many threes that you're mentioning right there. That's a number they've got to get off of, and the big risk you're running right now is discouragement amongst the ranks. How do you keep them up? How do you keep them motivated? They've got to dial up something to give themselves some confidence.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one, Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now it's Jackson. Being chased out left. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And all the way down to the 17-yard line.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Throwing is Jackson. Flush to his right. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
First and goal from the 3. Now it's Jackson. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Charger drive about to get going in the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Pernell McPhee. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. On the screen, this is Eckler. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
2nd quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Jackson eluding the pressure right. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient at picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. third down's important to them, they find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. 7 yards, the pickup there. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chuck Clark able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Herbert. This is swung out to Eckler. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It'll be a gain of 12, and we also lead to 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now he'll escape to his left. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot him at the 44. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
So, Charles, you look at this offense. What a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Jackson now. Escaping the pressure right.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Flushed out right. First down and more for Jackson. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
Flush to his right. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown.
Devin Duvernay.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaims center stage. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They keep
nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert for Keenan Allen. That's complete. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now the Ravens are going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On is the Chargers punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Latavius Murray getting set to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Rolling to his right. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure, and here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And they really won't have much time to work with. Just 19 seconds showing on the clock.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We start with the 2 teams who've gone the longest without playoff victories, a combined 59 years. Cincinnati taking on Detroit, and it's the Bengals who have the lead in the second quarter. Jamar Chase, a touchdown reception.
From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the football team at home at FedEx Field. And that one's at halftime with the visiting Chiefs out on top. Patrick Mahomes killing it. 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. The Rams trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Chargers. And they will need to get this passing game in gear, because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there. Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Here we go.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football, because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
They're throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. The first play of the second half, a big success, over 30 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side, because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Going deep here for Allen. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump. And he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Jackson eluding the pressure right. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Marquise Brown. His 3rd touchdown of the game. His 8th on the year. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, for Lamar Jackson, we know all about how dangerous he is running the football, but he can really sling it as well, and he connects on a big one there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. A handoff. It's Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
1st down, and they stick with Eckler. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert looking for the end zone. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
They'll try the right side with Eckler. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Back to throw here, Herbert. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Here's Jackson to throw.
That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down.
Here's Sam Cook now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10.
At the 34. Out of the gun, Herbert.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath.
That catch good for only a couple. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the pistol, they run it with Murray. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he will have a Ravens 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. On 1st down, Murray. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd down now, it's Murray, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. handoff. It's Murray. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw, escaping the pressure right. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And when you break it down, well, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You know, you just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for the Ravens, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8.